folks? Welcome. Happy Sunday. Welcome to hashtag ROTW, Record of the Week. Hope your Sunday is going well so far. Mine was pretty delightful. There was beautiful blue skies. Went outside for a nice run, working on, getting that beach bod summer stuff going. Might be more of a dad bod at this point, but we got time to figure it out. But the main thing is I come home, get ready to do my record of the week, put in hashtag ROTW, record of the week, into Instagram, checking out what's going on there, seeing a whole bunch of other people recognizing the excellence of vinyl and promoting their records. But I'd also noticed hashtag ROTW being used for a whole bunch of other stuff that isn't necessarily record of the week. Some people are using it for rant of the week. You know what? If you got to make a rant every week, I'm pretty much making a rant right now. That's fine. Go right ahead. Do that. Not angry about that. However, there is a specific group that I'm raging battle against right now. It starts. It's the rat of the week, people. Yeah, rat of the week. Hashtag ROTW. Not record of the week. They're using it as rat of the week. Let me say this to all those rap people out there. And you know what? You're going to get offended. I don't care. We don't need a rat of the week. We don't need a rat of the month. We don't need a rat of the year. Rats are filthy, disgusting animals. They should not be celebrated on anywhere, especially social media. They are filthy, disgusting rodents that have caused plagues. What did the mafia call the worst people in the world? Rats. Why? Because rats are the worst animals. Rats get the bats. Hashtag no more rat of the week. I'm done. Instead, I've got a picture right here for you. Shout out to John Oliver finding that photo. Those are the rats of the decade. Those two rats that are fucking, they get rat of the decade. Maybe they switch up each rat every year. I don't give a fuck. Those are the last rats that we ever need to see on the internet again. Thank you. Back to what we're talking about though. Record of the week. Hashtag ROTW. Record of the week. This week's record, Interpol's Turn on the Bright Lights. Why am I talking about this record? Because personally, it is one of my top 5 favorite records. There's no doubt about it. I love this record. I've listened to this record. As I said, it might be the record that I've listened to the most out of any record. It is one of the first albums that got me into independent music. And it is something that I really think that is so close to just being pitch perfect. But I also wanted to talk about this record because I think it brings up an interesting early discussion of that rock music that was coming out in the early 2000s. Rock first exploded really onto the scene and also brought back this huge wave of rock music that really we haven't seen since then. It was almost like the last hurrah in a way. And Interpol were firmly a part of that. Just like every other decade, you have the big four. All right, you got the big 4 of grunge, you got the big 4 of thrash metal, you got the big 4 of the British invasion of the 60s, you got the big 4 of everything, so you got the big 4 of early indie rock. Everyone always lists the White Stripes, they list the Strokes, they list the Hives, who've kind of been forgotten, but still had a bunch of great songs at that time. And then sometimes they list the Vines, but fuck off. The Vines, they had 2 good songs. No, number 4, if we're listing a big 4, the 4th one is Interpol. Specifically because their first 2 albums were amazing. Amazing records. There was a knock on Interpol though at the time. A lot of people used to say that they sounded far too much like Joy Division. Paul Banks sings with a really deep kind of croon, just like Joy Division singer. Also, they have a killer rhythm section, so that got them comparisons to Joy Division as well. However, to knock Interpol for this, which a lot of people did at the time and continue to do to this day, I think is really unfair. Because let's face it, all of those early indie bands were knocking off other people. The White Stripes were basically just a stripped down version of Led Zeppelin. The Strokes, if you want to talk about the Strokes, if you're a Strokes fan and you think that Interpol sucks because they knocked off a bit of Joy Division sound, the Strokes, man, put on television's Marquee Moon. That is the Strokes. It's an egregious example of someone ripping off someone else's sound. In fact, if you're like me and you like Interpol and you don't really dig the Strokes that much, but you have a friend who loves the Strokes, put on Marking Moon for them. Just be like, hey, listen to this new awesome Strokes album that's from way long ago, and they'll be like, oh my god, that's like the best Strokes album I've ever heard. And then you can be like, yeah, well fuck you, it came out in 1976 and is released by television. Go die. I don't know why you'd say that to your friend, but you know, you might get passionate about music like I do. Anyway, back to our hashtag ROTW record of the week, Interpol Turn on the Bright Lights. Why is this such a great record? Well, as I said, from top to bottom, it is just fantastic. When you talk about side A, we have songs like Obstacle 1, we have PDA, we have NYC, unbelievable classic songs of indie rock that are among the best that the genre has to offer, to be completely honest with you. And we have we have just such a depth of variety on this album. We have great garage rocking tunes like PDA, like Obstacle 1, also like Roland, which I think is an underrated great song by the band. But we also have these super atmospheric songs like Untitled, Leif Erikson, Say Hello to the Angels, slow stuff that, well, got them a lot of comparisons to Joy Division, but nonetheless is great music. And then we also have really epic songs like The New, and they're doing stuff. I think the biggest difference between Joy Division and Interpol is that Interpol is doing stuff that Joy Division just did not do on guitar. Paul Banks and Daniel Kessler actually writes all the initial ideas for the music for the band. He brings all the material, and he's the lead guitarist, and he is fantastic, and he writes incredible songs, especially in doing stuff on the guitar that is innovative. Listen to The New, go check it out as a live video. They detuned the B string all the way down to like a G or something. It's unbelievable, super cool moment. Overall, just an excellent album, and really, I believe, an essential rock record, regardless of the time frame. Check out Interpol's Turn on the Bright Lights. You will not be disappointed. Bonus fact on this album, though, if you've never heard of it, but you are a fan of Friends, you've probably heard this album before. During the weirdest moment on the series, and probably the biggest mistake, their jump the shark moment, if you will, is when Rachel and Joey make out for the first time. The song in the background, Interpol's Untitled, which is the first song on this record. By the way, big cojones for deciding to put your first song on your first record Untitled. It was a big deal at the time, still deserves a shout out today. Big cojones. Anyways, weirdest moment on the show, weirdest song choice that they could have ever put there. It's a super depressing song, super depressing riff, no idea why they did it. Go YouTube it, check out the weirdness, leave a comment below. Thank you for tuning in. Stay hip, indie friends.